We're almost expecting we're going to see fuel rations. And would it be such a surprise if all of a sudden, I don't know, this was monitored by QR codes and government mandates and apps?
QR codes, purchase limits, travel restrictions. Does all of that sound familiar? And then he says something that should send chills down your spine.
But the old joke used to be, what's the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality? 6 months. So I think it's about 2 now, quite frankly.
2 months from conspiracy theory to reality. Just 2 months. And here's the man who's been at the center of all of this. The man who runs the largest asset management firm in the world. The man who manages well over $10 trillion in assets. The man who just admitted at Davos in Switzerland, the elite have lost the public's trust.
But it's also obvious that the world now places far less trust in us to help shape what comes next. If the World Economic Forum is going to be useful going forward, it has to regain that trust.
The world places far less trust in the elite. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, standing at the World Economic Forum, admitting that the global elite have lost the public's trust. Now, why would the most powerful man in the global financial industry admit this publicly? Well, it's because they need to rebuild that trust and they need a new system to do it. So could it be that the planted distrust is so that people look for a new system to build trust? A system that appears transparent, a system that appears fair, a system that appears to give power back to the people. But is this actually the most sophisticated control grid ever built? And here's the technology that makes it possible. So before we get into the solution, we need to talk about how they keep you from seeing what's really happening. Because one of the most powerful weapons the elite have isn't money, it isn't military force, it isn't shape-shifting technology for reptilians, it isn't even time travel technology, it's information control. Listen to what Barack Obama said about how to win the information war.
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
So the game's already won. When citizens no longer know what to believe, when they've lost trust in everything, especially with artificial intelligence out there, faking everything online, you don't know what's real, what's fake, the game is already won. Now here's the irony. Obama is describing exactly what the elite have been doing to us for decades and even centuries, flooding the public square with raw sewage, wars, scandals, UFO disclosures, Epstein cover-ups, political drama, all designed to keep you distracted, all designed to keep you from seeing the real game. The documentary explains it perfectly.
What's happening in the mainstream is that idea that I represent you, Jon Stewart represents you, X represents you, is a Pied Piper concept. Does he really represent you? Do you want such a person to represent you? And if you do, then is he not completely now in control of your allegiances and your affiliations, you see? And they can steer them in a very much Pied Piper way, wherever they want to go.
The Pied Piper concept. Your favorite media personalities, whether they're on the left or on the right, are all steering you in the same direction. Even Tucker Carlson, who many considered a truth teller, is being used to promote a specific narrative.